Every year, millions of people resolve to make some changes in their lives. They might want to exercise more, eat healthier, and get more regular sleep. For a time, they work out and improve their healthy habits. However, after some days or weeks go by, these new habits start slipping away until they're back to square one again. Why is it so hard for us to maintain new behaviors? According to Dr. BJ Fogg, a behavior scientist with more than 2 decades of experience in studying human behavior, the problem with change doesn't really lie with us as individuals, but rather with our approach. His book presents the Fogg Behavior Model, a universal model for designing and analyzing all types of human behavior, and tiny habits, a method to develop new habits using baby steps. Together, they can help us to achieve any behavior change that we need or want. Here are the top 7 lessons from Dr. Brian Jeffrey Fogg's Tiny Habits, the small changes that change everything. Lesson 1. Realize that tiny is fast. We always feel so pressed for time. This pressure leads us to believe that there will never be enough time, so we end up saying no to changes because we feel like we don't have the hours needed to cultivate new positive habits. With the Tiny Habits method, we're taught to focus on small actions that we can do in less than 30 seconds. We can quickly wire in new habits, and then they eventually grow naturally. Starting tiny means we can begin creating big changes without worrying about the time involved. The more stressed we are and the less time we have, the more appropriate this method is for us. No matter how much we want to cultivate a healthy habit, we won't be able to do it reliably if we start big. When we go big, the new habit likely won't stick. In some people's lives, tiny may not just be the best option, but it might be their only option. Lesson 2. Know that tiny can grow. The world we live in is an aspiration-driven culture that is deeply rooted in instant gratification. We find it hard to enact or even accept incremental progress, which is exactly what we need to cultivate meaningful long-term changes. People get demoralized and frustrated when things don't happen quickly. It is normal. It is natural. But it's another way we're set up to fail. One tiny action might feel insignificant at first, but it allows us to gain the momentum we need to ramp up to bigger challenges and faster progress. Lesson 3. Know that tiny is transformative. With the Tiny Habits method, we celebrate successes no matter how small they may be. This is how we take advantage of our neurochemistry and turn deliberate actions into automatic habits more quickly. Feeling successful greatly helps us wire in new habits and motivates us to do more. With tiny habits, we also learn how to feel good in our life. The ability to pat ourselves on the back instead of beating ourselves up grows solid, life-changing roots. Lesson 4. Learn the Fogg Behavior Model. Behaviors happen when the 3 elements of MAP, motivation, ability, and prompt, come together at the same moment. Just like bicycles, they may look different, but the core mechanisms are the same. Wheels, pedals, and brakes. Motivation is our desire to do the behavior, while ability is our capacity to execute, and prompt is our cue to start doing the behavior. For a behavior B to occur, those 3 elements must converge at the same moment. If we can't change one component of the behavior model, motivation for example, then we must focus on changing the others, ability and prompt. Lesson 5. Do the starter step. It is exactly what it sounds like, that one small move toward the desired behavior. If we want to make a habit out of walking 2 miles every day, our starter step might be putting our walking shoes on. That starter step becomes our tiny behavior, and the only action we need to do at the start of our new habit. The objective here is to start doing a crucial step in the process of doing the desired behavior. We can tell ourselves, I don't have to walk. I just need to make sure I put my shoes on each day. Lesson 6. Celebrate tiny successes. The author encourages us to celebrate our tiny successes. This one small shift in our life can have a massive impact, even when we feel that there's no way up or out of our situation. Celebration can be our lifeline. Change is a process, like healing a cut on your finger or growing a flower in the garden. And just like any process, there are things we can do to optimize it, to make course corrections along the way, and speed things along. By understanding how our habits grow and what our role is in its growth process, we can reliably design for the change we want in our life. Lesson 7. Break bad habits. A helpful way to understand habits is to put them into 3 categories. 1 is an uphill habit. These are those that require ongoing attention to maintain but are easy to stop. Another is the downhill habit. These are the habits that are easy to maintain but difficult to stop. And lastly, free fall habits are those that can be extremely difficult to stop unless we have a safety net of professional help. When we get toward the difficult end of the spectrum, we should note the language we hear, battling addiction and breaking bad habits. In conclusion, we need to identify our goals. This can be done by breaking down a big goal into manageable steps. This will help us achieve our goals, and it's a very sustainable approach. The author has used this method with thousands of people through his Stanford Behavior Design Lab research and years of study. Do you want to start a healthy habit? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on my new content. You can also get a free copy of the audiobook by clicking the link in the description. Until next time,